Hello, good morning. Welcome to the morning news on 3FM 92.7. We're also live on Kesmi 107.1 FM in Tamale and across the world. We're also streaming on Facebook and on YouTube at 3FM 92.7. My name is Christabel Success Treve. Coming up this morning, post-flood committee member calls for tougher development control as Ghana battles recurring floods.
Walking into a catastrophe, and I fear for Ghana.
Also in this bulletin, lawyers of former NAFCO CEO challenged government to provide evidence that their client attempted to withdraw funds from his frozen bank account.
How did he attempt to withdraw funds? And indeed, how do you assess funds which are held in a frozen account, according to Attenjua?
And much later, Black Stars head coach Carlos Queiroz resigns following the team's elimination from the FIFA World Cup. We've got details of these and many more for you shortly. Don't go away. Thank you for keeping your dial here on 3FM 92.7. We begin now because Black Stars head coach Carlos Queiroz has delivered an emotional farewell message to Ghanaians following the team's elimination from the FIFA World Cup, expressing pride in the team's progress while urging the nation to build on the foundation laid during his tenure. In a heartfelt message addressed to the nation, Queiroz reflected on the lessons of football and life, saying, "Football, like life, you either win or learn." The experienced Portuguese tactician said he leaves with pride in what the Black Stars achieved, while admitting there's still room for greater success. Ghana's FIFA World Cup campaign ended in the round of 32 after a 1-0 defeat to Colombia at Kansas City Stadium on Friday night. Away from sports, lawyers for former Chief Executive Officer of National Buffer Stock Company, Annan Abdul-Wahab Aludiba, say they have been denied access to his legal team following his rearrest. He is currently in the custody of the Bureau of National Intelligence. Lead counsel for the ex-NAFCO CEO, Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, has been speaking to us on his rearrest. Take a listen to him.
That claim is totally false. It's untrue. Did he produce to the public any evidence? Did he produce to you the manner or the evidence of the manner in which he attempted to withdraw? Be that as it may, he has not assessed any funds at all. He should produce to the public, to the whole Ghanaian Republic, for us to see the manner in which he claims Annan attempted to withdraw any money from the account. He has not issued any check. He has not executed any withdrawal note served on any bank. So how did he attempt to withdraw funds? And indeed, how do you assess funds which are held in a frozen account, according to Attenjua?
That's lead counsel for the ex-NAFCO CEO, Godfrey Yeboah-Dame. The Ashanti North Regional Police Command has launched investigations into a viral video that allegedly shows misconduct by a police woman in the Akomada Afranco district. The command confirmed in a press release on Sunday that the officer involved has been identified. The incident in question reportedly took place on July 3, 2026, although details of the alleged misconduct were not disclosed in the statement. Signed by ASP Manuel Adbuji, staff officer and acting public relations officer, the release stated that investigations have commenced to establish the full facts and circumstances surrounding the event. The command added that appropriate action will follow based on the outcome of the probe. Now, project coordinator of the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Garrett project and member of the Post-Flood Mitigation Committee, Codjoe Ohenesafo, says Ghana needs far-reaching reforms in urban planning to effectively address the country's perennial flooding challenges. He warns that many new developments continue to follow the same pattern of haphazard construction as individuals undertake building projects without considering their broader impact on communities and the general Ghanaian population. He made these remarks while speaking on the key points on TV3 over the weekend.
In the banter that we entertain and engage in, we are quietly sleepwalking into a catastrophe. And I fear. I fear for Ghana. I fear for our cities. Because individual actions are being taken without a sense of how it comes together to create the vulnerabilities of our cities. There are a number of culverts relative to the size of the drains that the culverts are bottlenecks. Those bottlenecks need to be changed immediately.
That's Garrett's project coordinator, Mr. Codjoe Ohene Safo. Meanwhile, the government's coordinated nationwide post-flood recovery and mitigation exercise is expected to hit the ground running anytime soon. The operation, which will be spearheaded by the Ghana Armed Forces in collaboration with MMDAs, other security agencies and relevant state institutions, will focus on clearing debris, restoring sanitation, improving public safety, and reducing the risk of waterborne disease outbreaks in flood-hit areas. In a related development, the deadly floods may have receded, but the destruction left behind continues to devastate livelihoods across parts of Accra. At Ablekuma Pentecost Junction, collapsed buildings, damaged businesses, and a failed drainage system stand as stark evidence of years of infrastructure neglect laid bare by the torrential rains. Stanley Niblel reports.
The recent floods in the Greater Accra region left behind a trail of destruction after claiming multiple lives. At Ablekuma Pentecost Junction in the Central Municipality, the scars of the disaster remain visible and dire. Collapsed structures and deep erosion have ripped through homes, shops and other properties after floodwaters washed away their foundations. Runoff from several upstream communities is channeled through a natural water course into a narrow, unfinished storm drain that residents say has long been unable to contain the volume of water. During the construction of the Pentecost Inner Road, part of the drainage system was built but never extended, leaving fast-flowing water to empty into a vulnerable section of the community, triggering persistent flooding and severe erosion. Successive downpours have widened the channel, further weakening the surrounding land. The torrential rains of Monday, June 29, 2026, worsened the already fragile situation, with raging floodwaters bringing down buildings located along the waterway. Several businesses, including pubs and shops, have suspended operations after their premises and customer sitting areas were extensively damaged. The destruction did not end there. Commercial activities at Express Gas have also come to a halt after flash floods severely damaged the station. Fortunately, there was no fuel in stock at the time of the incident. The devastation has also extended to culvert and drainage infrastructure.
All of a sudden,
That was a report by Stanley Niblel. Now, the Ghana Armed Forces has announced that more than half of the corridor for the proposed Accra-Kumasi Expressway has been cleared. According to an update released on the project, as of June 25, 2026, a total of 89.5 kilometers, representing 50.9% of the expressway corridor, has been cleared. Now, Alex Tumisi, the project coordinator and manager, said the entire clearing exercise is scheduled to be completed in 20 weeks and that more than 50% has already been achieved within 9 weeks.
This development marks a major milestone in the preparatory phase of the project. The latest figures indicate that the project is progressing ahead of schedule, with authorities expressing confidence that the remaining section of the corridor will be completed within the planned timeframe. Colonel Alex Chumasi is the project coordinator.
The operations are progressing steadily and according to plan. The team is currently achieving an average clearing rate of 10 kilometers per week, and at this rate, we anticipate completing the clearing operations within 17 to 18 weeks, which is way ahead of the original 20-week program.
The remaining 86.1 kilometers of the corridor are expected to be cleared over the next 13 weeks, paving way for subsequent phases of the flagship road project.
The team remains fully committed to the successful and timely completion of this mission. We stand ready to undertake any additional engineering tasks that may be assigned by High Command in support of national developmental objectives.
The Accra-Kumasi Expressway, an ambitious government project, is expected to significantly improve travel between Ghana's two largest cities by reducing travel time, easing congestion on the existing route, and enhancing the movement of people and goods.
And that's how we wrap up this morning news on 3FM 92.7. For more stories and updates, please don't forget to check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Christabel Success Trevor. Business is up next on The Sunrise Show.
Accra gets busy on this frequency. 92.7 3FM.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the business news on Sunrise. Coming up this morning, Government of Ghana rejects excess Treasury bill bids, taking less than target in tender 2014 despite heavy oversubscription of 791.2 million cedis amid rising yields. Also in this bulletin, senior fellow at Africa Policy Lens says stable exchange rate and local refining are critical to curbing rising transportation inflation.
We were hoping that transport price will generally be stable, but it appears not to be so. And we know that transport is largely fueled by fuel prices.
Also in this bulletin, Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana president urges marketers to embrace AI as a strategic service enabler.
I think anybody that understands the AI environment would have seen that it has been an enabler. Organizations that are adopting AI and AI systems are improving their outputs, are improving what they ought to do.
I am Christabel Success Trevor. Will bring you details of our headlines and other stories shortly. Don't go away. The government of Ghana has raised 3.163 billion cedis from the domestic money market during its weekly Treasury bill auction on Thursday, July 2, 2026. Government pulled back on its intake despite marking its second consecutive week of heavy oversubscription. The following 3 Business News Desk report has more.
Designated as Tender 2014, the primary market auction opened up bids for the standard 91-day, 182-day, and 364-day short-term instruments. Total investor demand soared well past expectations, with institutions and individuals tendering a massive 4.162 billion cedis against an initial government target of 3.371 billion cedis. However, in a calculated move amid rising yields, fiscal authorities rejected a substantial volume of these offers, choosing to walk away with less than their baseline target. The 91-day bill received bids of 1.688 billion cedis, with government accepting 1.631 billion cedis at a yield of 5.87%. 182-day bill attracted offers totaling 618.90 million, of which 435.82 million cedis was taken at an interest rate of 7.78%. The longest tenor 364-day bill saw the highest rate of rejection. Investors poured in bids of 1.855 billion cedis, but government accepted just 1.095 billion cedis at a yield of 12.92%. The auction was oversubscribed by 791.20 million cedis, representing a rate of 23.47%, while the subscription rate was 123.47% and the acceptance rate was 76%. The decision to take less than both the target and total submitted bids signals a strategic effort by the state to contain borrowing costs and avoid locking in too much high-interest debt as domestic money market rates continue to scale up.
A senior fellow at the Africa Policy Lens, Dr. Eric Boachi Yadom, has described the recent surge in transport inflation as generally worrying, warning that persistent price pressures in the sector could undermine national economic stability. The Ghana Statistical Service reported that annual inflation rose to 5.3% in June 2026. This increase was primarily driven by the transport sector, where services inflation reached 9.4%, largely due to rising local bus and trotro fares.
If we look at transport, which sits on top with an inflation of about 9.1%, I think it's generally worrying. And we were hoping that transport price would generally be stable, but it appears not to be so. And we know that transport is largely fueled by fuel prices. And fuel prices, a key component is the exchange rate. So government should focus on trying to ensure that there's a stable exchange rate in terms of how BDCs are able to get the dollar or foreign currencies to import the fuel back here. Yes, it is refreshing to know TOR is working, and we are hoping that enough investment is made in TOR to be able to operate at a full-scale capacity to ensure that the fuel we need here is refined here rather than porting and importing it back in terms of high prices. Another thing that we need to know, from the bulletin is the disparity in terms of inflation reported across the region.
You heard there a senior fellow at the Africa Policy Lens, Dr. Eric Boachi Yadom. The president of CIMG, Michael Abiu, has underscored the transformative power of artificial intelligence, AI, in the market profession, describing it as a vital enabler for business growth. Speaking to the media on the sidelines of the 35th AGM in Accra, Abiu emphasized that organizations adopting AI and its advanced systems are experiencing significant improvements in their overall output.
The CIMG highlighted that a cornerstone of modern marketing decisions is marketing intelligence, which heavily relies on data and analytics.
I think anybody that understands the AI environment would have seen that it has been an enabler. Organizations that are adopting AI and AI systems are improving their outputs, are improving what they ought to do. One of the key things for marketing decisions is marketing intelligence, data, analytics. And that is one of the things AI is helping us do now.
CIMG aims to heavily leverage digitalization and local advocacy to drive Ghana's economic growth.
So I think that when it comes to marketers and how we support the economy, it's all about the consumer. Creating that level of consumer awareness, creating that environment where our products and services and those who are providing it are delivering that effectiveness to consumers, making consumers aware of Ghanaian products and services that is out there. We are contributing to the discussion on the economy and how marketing can support the economy.
When questioned about the operational bottlenecks marketers face and how those hurdles impact national development, Abiu noted that economic recovery hinges directly on prioritizing the consumer. According to the CIMG president, marketing's real value lies in building robust environments where domestic service providers can effectively align their products. According to the CIMG president, marketing's real value lies in building robust environments where domestic service providers can effectively align their products with consumer demands, noting that made in Ghana and made in Africa are key for economic development.
The 24-Hour Economy and Accelerated Export Development Authority has signed a memorandum of understanding with Petrochemical Holdings GmbH to develop two major industrial projects in Ghana, a $700 million integrated chemical production complex and a gold tailings recovery and environmental remediation platform. The initiative is expected to create jobs, boost local manufacturing, reduce imports of key industrial chemicals, and position Ghana as a regional supplier to the West African market. This 3 Business News Desk reports has more.
The partnership includes plans to build a $700 million integrated chemical manufacturing complex to produce sodium cyanide, caustic soda, and other chlor-alkali products, as well as a gold tailings recovery and environmental remediation platform. According to the authority, the projects are expected to create jobs, strengthen local manufacturing, reduce Ghana's dependence on imported industrial chemicals, and support exports across the West African region. The projects will be implemented through Green Rock Petrochemical Ghana Limited, a joint venture between Petrochemical Holdings GmbH and Gulf-based Green Rock. Presidential advisor on the 24-hour economy, Augustus Gusitano, says the partnership supports President John Dramani Mahama's industrial transformation agenda by promoting investment, sustainable job creation, and export-led growth.
We'll now take a look at how the city is faring against major trading currencies and how some of key commodities are also faring on the global market.
On the interbank foreign exchange market, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis 39 pesos. It gained 4 pesos. The British pound is selling at 15 cedis 22 pesos. It gained 13 pesos. The euro is selling at 13 cedis 3 pesos. It also gained 1 peso. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at a forex bureau near you. On the global commodities market, Brent crude is trading at $72.12 per barrel. Gold is trading at $4,176.94 per ounce, up by $54.59. Cocoa is trading at $5,036 per ton, down by $56.
You just heard an update from the Forex and Commodities market, ending the business news on Sunrise. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. I am Christabel Success Trevor. The rest of the team are on standby. Don't go away.
another Monday morning for you here on the 3FM Sunrise. This is 3FM 92.7. We're coming to you live from our studios here on the John Hammond Street. Also live on our numerous affiliates across the country. Kesmi 107.1 FM in Tamale. That's where you can catch us if you're in the northern region and beyond. We're streaming live on Facebook. Our handle's 3FM927. Same handle on Twitter as well, 3FM927. And you find the stream also exclusively on YouTube, 3FM927. Welcome to another brand new week. And as always, we're going to start off with a quick message, after which we'll get into the weather. Then we get you into the newspapers. Where you're not left out at all, you can be a part of the conversation. Go on to Facebook, leave a message as to what we're talking about, the matters we're discussing. After which, we'll do sports. You know the World Cup has been on. And that game between Mexico and England, what a cracker. What a cracker it was. Produced 5 goals, 2 penalties, a red card, and an Azteca which was rocking for 2 hours non-stop. In the end, it was England who emerged victorious. We'll get into all of those conversations at 10-8. After which, we'll get into our big conversations for you. So it's a wonderful journey between now till 10 a.m. It's why I entreat you to be a part of the conversations. Go on to Facebook and leave a message for us. Find us on Twitter as well. You can use the hashtag 3fmSunrise. Now, this morning I would like to challenge us on an idea that many of us have quietly accepted. The idea that before doing something meaningful, there must first be a feeling. That somehow confidence must arrive before action. That clarity must come before the first step. And that motivation is a prerequisite for progress. I want us to think about it again. How many important things in our life has ever begun with certainty? If we're to answer that question with genuine honesty, we'll find out a very few. None of them, or all of those individuals that we've admired, never waited until fear disappeared. They began while uncertainty was still in the room. And that perhaps speaks to a misunderstanding of the word motivation. We think motivation creates action. More often than not, action creates motivation, right? The hardest part of reading a book is opening the first page. The hardest part of exercising is putting on the shoes. The hardest part of making a difficult phone call is dialing the number first. After that, momentum quietly takes over. Psychologists call it behavioral activation. The mind often follows where behavior leads. Waiting to feel like doing something can become an endless delay. While beginning, even while reluctantly, often changes how we feel along the way. And so, this morning, the question should not be, am I motivated? The question should be, what deserves to be done, whether I feel like it or not? Because feelings are unpredictable, but purpose isn't. The people who build remarkable lives are rarely those who wake up inspired every morning. They are the ones who honor their commitments even on ordinary days. As scripture reminds us in Galatians chapter 6 verse 9, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And that is our message of motivation for you today. that morning, a number of us received alerts from the Interior Ministry that moderate rain is expected between 4 and 7 a.m. with a 40% chance. I saw a joke somewhere that, look, if the Interior Ministry, you didn't receive a message from the Interior Ministry, then it means you are not a Ghanaian. So perhaps it should pack out. But that's what the forecast situation is like, particularly for those of us in the capital, Accra. And it's exactly a week, right? It's exactly a week since a number of us could not make it to work. A number of us had to stay home following that stay-at-home order by the Interior Minister because it rained in torrents, leaving the capital inundated with flood waters, lives being lost that were still counting, and what have you. And so exactly a week on, we're getting alerts from the Interior Ministry. It begs the question, what could have, why we weren't getting alerts like these before? But in any ways, right, a lot has been said about being reactionary, not proactive. Nonetheless, we're getting alerts these days, and so we will be wary of that. Let's get into the papers this morning as well. Time check 23 to the top of the hour. Good morning to Patrice as well.
Good morning.
Yes,
good morning.
sir.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you as well.
Yeah.
Did you get the alert from the Interior Ministry?
No, I didn't get any alert from the Interior Ministry.
You're not a Ghanaian.
But I was not expecting any alert from the Meteo Agency because they deceived me last week.
Oh, no, I'm not sure it's deceit.
Oh, it is deceit.
It is
because,
not.
So listen, this is a conversation I picked with a friend of mine who came from the US to stay here for a month. And his weather guide was the BBC weather guide, and he said it was so accurate. It gives you per minute information on what is going to come, volume of rain that you're going to get, potential.
As in the person from the UK,
US,
from the US, is telling us that their weather forecast gives them up to
BBC.
Right.
When he picks from the BBC, it is far more accurate than what we do here. And I tend to agree with him to a large extent. So I thought because the rains fell heavily last 2 weeks.
No, it was just Monday, last week.
Just last Monday. The Meteo Agency was just trying to play football with us that, hey, it could happen again. It's like we are presuming that the rain is still on its way. What kind of life is that?
No. I asked for this. I disagree with you.
So what happened? What happened?
We will not.
We were promised rain on Thursday.
We will not take on the metro. The metro this month. So. Yes. What happens? It's a forecast, right?
It's a forecast.
It's a forecast.
Okay.
And forecasts are looking at potential development and attempting to predict. I'm sure if your friend is being honest with you, in the US they've missed forecast a number of times as well.
Well, that didn't come up, but he was saying that it was so accurate from the BBC weather reports that
I mean, as much as we are all preparing for it and using updates, right? When was the last time we even equipped them properly? It's
how do we know that? The point is why do you say
I know that for a fact because they've advocated for a bit.
And what has been the challenge? These are the things I talk about. What has been it hasn't come up. So why don't they lay down their tools?
They haven't lay down their tools so that the planes will not land.
You are calling for something to happen. It's not happening, but money is being spent somewhere else. Why do you sit down?
Doesn't mean you lay down your tools.
Lay it down.
You know they play a very important role in terms of providing updates to the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority terms of flight takeoff and all of that.
It's a very essential service.
Absolutely.
And if we respect it as such...
At some point in time, they were owned by the Ghana Civil Aviation, the airport company, if I'm not mistaken, because they were supposed to pay some monies based on service rendered, and that had not been paid.
Lay down your tools.
No, I disagree.
Ghana Meteorological Agency, if you're listening to me this morning, lay down your tools if you are not paid.
I'm not sure. It's not about salary,
or if you are not retooled, if you are not properly so equipped.
If that were the tangent,
yes.
I'm not sure there will be any workers really, because hospitals are not up to world standard. Would you say?
But my point is very simple. We see
lay down their tools.
We see monies flying left and right unnecessarily. So I picked something from Dan Kweku Yeboah. That back office staff of the FA that went to the World Cup numbered 24. And if we so claim we're spending $11,000 on each of them, 11,000 by 24 is what, 244, right? So, I mean, sometimes we see that there's wastage somewhere where it can be channeled into another thing, more important thing. Because can you imagine if the Meteo Agency reneged on its responsibility to guide aeroplanes, aircrafts, cargo planes into the country? It will be quite disastrous. And if they are so crying that we need to be equipped so that we stay afloat of latest technology, there is nothing wrong with it.
They should lay down their tools.
I believe so, absolutely. They should. If they do so, you see, you realize. So, for example, let's just piggyback on the flood that happened not too long ago. What did the president instruct? That we send out like 300 million US cedis.
Yeah, flood mitigation.
So don't we have any reserves from where these things would come? They definitely would come. You get it? They definitely would come. So for me, if Meteo Agency is not being accurate, because now you need the weather to plan. You need the weather to...
I'm not sure not being accurate is a fair word to use in sincerity.
Oh, really?
It's not fair. It's not fair on the Meteo Agency.
Okay. So they have been so accurate, or quite accurate, or perhaps a bit accurate.
They've done a good enough job.
Really?
And
you're sure that they've not been picking from the BBC weather forecast? They've been picking, or AccuWeather?
No.
It is just possible.
To suggest they pick from AccuWeather will be an insult to the Meteo Agency. But let me just read for you. This morning, they say that southern Ghana will generally be mostly cloudy with rain of varying intensity accompanied by occasional thunder expected over part of the coastal and middle sectors. Mist or fog patches are likely to form over part of the coast forests and hilly areas during the early hours. Meanwhile, northern Ghana will experience partly cloudy conditions as the day progresses into the afternoon. Northern Ghana will become mostly sunny with periodic cloud cover, while the southern half remains predominantly cloudy. However, thunderstorms or rain are expected over part of southern Ghana in the later part of this afternoon as well. And so a bit of rain, I think, in corroboration with the updates that we've been getting from the Interior Ministry. Well, the Interior Ministry will source all of it from the Ghana Meteorological Agency as well. So I think it falls in line with expectations for this morning. But let's get into the newspapers. And so if you're yet to step out, be wary that there's a bit of rain expected today, exactly a week on. And so
I got it. I'm Ghanaian.
So you are Ghanaian.
No, Mawuena, I'm really Ghanaian. I just realized I was Ghanaian, Mawuena.
You got it, so you're Ghanaian.
And I'm recognized by the Ministry of Interior. And it says that important alert. No. Yeah, Greater Accra, moderate
yeah, rain. So that's the second
likely
one.
Monday, 4 to 7 a.m. 40% chance. Okay. Low lying areas.
They put percentages. It's 40% chance of rain.
Low lying areas may flood. Avoid flooded roads. Stay alert. So
40% chance of rain. If that is to happen, then low-lying areas will flood. That's
so it's what, from 4 to 7 a.m. Is that like the rain is supposed to start from 4 or 7 a.m. Between 4 and 7 it should have started? Yeah, because the clouds are formed now.
Yeah, the clouds are formed.
Oh, really? Okay, so their AccuWeather report is on point.
It's not AccuWeather. This is
sorry. The Ghana,
For me, if I'm on the show, the GMET will get no bashing. Really? They've done fantastic.
Yeah.
Because I've been following them for a very long time.
I know, but since they have not been retooled, where do we know?
Even without retooling, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they have machineries and all that. It's not that the machines have gone bust, though.
But it's better to be retooled so that they can. Okay, no problem.
I mean, we speak of the fire service, right?
Yeah.
We all agree the fire service needs retooling, but they still go out to fight fires.
Yeah. Did you see the fire service ride that got stuck in what's the name? Flood waters? There's a video circulating.
Well, I mean, the flood waters was not charitable to any vehicle. There was an Ayalolo bus we were showing here, which passengers had to climb out of and be standing on top of the bus.
But for fire service, who are supposed to do the rescuing? I mean,
it's still a combustible engine. If you wade through the water and the water enters the engine, you get stuck.
So they couldn't prevent themselves from getting stuck. So how do they prevent other people?
In terms of trying to get there,
they had to wade through the water.
They'll seek to wade through the water because lives are more important than.
With your permission, I would like to start off with the Today newspaper for today, and it has on its front page: avoid flood-damaged food. That is FDA warning. Army takes over flood cleanup. Illegal buildings targeted. Lord God Almighty, someone listened to me. In fact, I got a message from, what did he say he was? He was something, oh, Lord God Almighty. I'll get back to that. But he said, what I said made a lot of sense to him.
Prince Eric J.
No, not Prince Eric J. Not Prince Eric J. This was just a random person that I never knew. He just sent me a message on my, what's the name, Facebook.
Oh, okay.
That, yes, he really buys into it that the military is supposed to take over in that aspect. Okay. 48,000 homeless after floods. Colombia ends Ghana's run, and the bold banner headline says, Mahama pledges pension boosts as economy recovers. So that is the Today newspaper.
I have the Daily Graphic in front of me. Government activates post-flood recovery. Armed forces lead operational response. That story on page 13. Government settles $700 million Eurobond debt. Has a picture of the finance minister, Dr. Kasia Latoforsen. 42nd National Farmers Day launched. Margins delivers first ID system for Gambia. On the back page, Jordan backs Queiroz to finish job.
Why wouldn't he? Because the man keeps fielding him on all the games. So why wouldn't he praise him? Anyways, the Inquisitor says this morning, Otumfo to celebrate Akwisidai at US in August. Wow. Okay. NPA engages retail outlets, tanker drivers over compliance. And two banner headlines: NDC national chair race. Opong Fosu leads in early polls. And then This is big news. Cocoa doles out 2.6 billion Ghana cedis to settle farmers. Has a picture of Randy Abe, Cocoa CEO. So that is the Inquisitor for this morning.
The Ghanaian Times newspaper, stop building on hills now and check construction risk, environmental disaster. Professor Otinga Bebio warns.
Thank you.
Post-flood mitigation program. Ghana Armed Forces to lead nationwide cleanup demolition exercise. Ochehini blames attitude for flood crisis. Calls for change in environmental behavior. Locally produced items drive in June inflation rates to 5.3%. Rearrest of former NAFCO boss at airport sparks legal battle over court travel order. I'll do the daily guide next since Crosby's joined, and then I'll...
We have a Meteo representative.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I have a Meteo representative. Oh, yeah. The daily guide newspaper, next on my bill. Ex-NAFCO boss arrested at airport, lawyers bar teeth. Government reviews student punishment regime. Has a picture of the education minister, Haruna Idrisu. We've cleared cocoa farmers' arrears. Cocoa board. High Court approves Abu Treke's extradition, and Momo vendor kills robber at Lashibi.
Oh, wow. Bingo.
I didn't do the back page of the Ghanaian Times, so let me do that quickly. 2026 FIFA World Cup, Black Stars lacked maturity, experience. Queiroz declares after exit from Mundial. Was a disappointing watch, must be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after the exit of Brazil, after the exit of I'm like Charlie, it was okay for Black Stars to exit, so it's fine.
We exited before that.
But I was expecting Brazil to advance further. So you have the custodian, right?
Yes.
Okay, right.
The custodian newspaper. The front page this morning, they say that Annan leads health walk, fires up MPP supporters for 2028 elections. Also, AG in willful violation of court order. Godfrey Dame slams Hannan's arrest at airport on page 2 of the paper. It comes with the pictures of Dr. Dominic Ayene, the Attorney General, and Hannan Abdul Wahab, who was arrested in Rambo style, according to the paper, at the Accra International Airport.
Right.
Don't trade lives for fiscal discipline. Minority tells government to spend to curb flood disasters. It's a good advice. Don't trade lives.
Coming from who?
Codjoe Opon Nkrumah.
Oh, please.
He's a ranking member of Parliament's Economy and Development Committee. He says that if the money is there to do something about the flood disasters, do it. Don't keep the money and say that I want to get good grades.
Did we have money to prevent these things from happening at the time he was in there?
They are not in government.
At the time he was in there, did we have money to prevent it? If he had prevented it, it wouldn't have cascaded into this.
Also, the custodian newspaper this morning says government to honor farmers in Bono region on page 6, and fire guards Malcolm warehouse at Tema Free Zones Enclave also on page 6 of the paper. Mobile money helping SMEs to reduce cash-related risk, according to the Mobile Money FinTech Limited. A few other papers. But
okay, I have the Republic. Yes. Yeah, Republic Press. It says, Momo vendor kills robbery suspect, recovers 140,000 Ghana cedis at Lashibi. Sanitation sector under fire. President warned of blackmail and sabotage over YEA contract termination. Summer boy floods. Don't return home until fumigation ends, Nadmo tells residents. And then the flood took everything. Dennis Miracles Abuaji recounts devastating ordeal. And the banner headline says, Attorney General and Godfrey Dame face off over controversial airport arrest of Hannan. Has the pictures of both of them. That's the Republic for today.
The New Finder newspaper this morning says savings and loan sector profits jumps to 515.3 million cedis. Government records 23.4% T-bill oversubscription. The banner headline, national action needed to address recurrent flood crisis, according to the GMA. And when they say the GMA, do they mean Ghana Medical Association?
Yeah.
Ghana Meteorological Agency. So, okay, it's a medical association calling for urgent national action to address the country's recurring flood crisis. Mawuena shoots robber, recovers 140,000 cedis. That's it for the New Finder newspaper. I'll go to the News Center newspaper this morning. It says that Ibrahim Mahama signals support for Ghanaian AI prodigy. That story is on page 10 of the paper. Also, Finance Ministry fiscal controls delayed Garrett project according to the World Bank on page 4. Okay, so this plays nicely into your hands, Patrice.
Oh, yeah.
You know the comment from Codjoe and Nkrumah that government should spend and don't trade lives for fiscal discipline.
Yes.
The minority telling government to spend to address the flood disasters. Now, the News Center says the Finance Ministry's fiscal controls delayed the Garrett project according to the World Bank. That's on page 4. And what the story is saying is that the World Bank has blamed fiscal controls introduced by the Ministry of Finance for significantly delaying the implementation of the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project, one of the country's flagship programs aimed at tackling chronic flooding in the capital. In its latest implementation update released in May 2026, the bank downgraded the project implementation performance to moderately unsatisfactory, citing persistent funding constraints despite the project remaining fully financed. Now, they say that the implementation of Garrett has been significantly constrained by fiscal measures introduced by the Ministry of Finance during 2025.
That's Codjoe and Nkrumah.
So this is from the World Bank.
Oh, from the World Bank.
Yes,
oh,
and it is playing nicely into what Codjoe and Nkrumah is doing.
Okay. Right.
If the money is there, spend the money, you understand?
Okay.
Accra's flooding, there's an article says a watershed problem that demands regional solution. Finally, from me is the Business and Financial Times. They say that plastic pollution reaches danger zone on page 3 of the paper. And the market sees strong appetite for bond, cocoa board, Fiasaman Community Bank post strong growth, and some other stories. Margins delivers first, GMID. These are the stories that I have for you this morning.
Right. A number of stories worthy of attention. I think one of the big ones is the Momo vendor who's killed a robber at Lashibi. But since we're talking floods and rains, on Friday, we know, which was a holiday, we know that the Ghana Armed Forces has been tasked to lead the nationwide cleanup and post-flood activities. And so I'll take us to page 13 of the Daily Graphic to get details of that. That story as well is on the Ghanaian Times page 13 as well. So I will compare and contrast and bring details to listeners, persons who may have missed that all-important news conference on Friday. Now, the Daily Graphic story is by Kester Abraham Crunchy. He reports from the Jubilee House, and the Ghanaian Times is by Julius Yao Petechi. Let me start with Kester's story because it reads that the government has activated a comprehensive post-flood recovery and mitigation program following the devastating floods that struck the Greater Accra region and parts of the Volta and Central regions last Monday. It includes a nationwide cleanup and recovery exercise with a focus on restoring public safety, improving sanitation, and preventing secondary disasters such as outbreak of cholera, typhoid, and other waterborne diseases. Particular attention will be given to clearing refuse, silt, fallen trees, abandoned vehicles, collapsed structures, and other debris obstructing roads, bridges, drains, and water courses. The president, who conducted an aerial reconnaissance of the affected areas last week to obtain a first-hand assessment of the devastation, directed the activation of a national post-flood mitigation task force to coordinate interventions. Now, the Ghana Armed Forces to lead. Now, Brigadier General Okan Yeboah said the government had directed that the Ghana Armed Forces lead the operational component of the mitigation efforts in collaboration with relevant agencies under the Ministry of Water Resources, Works and Housing, the National Disaster Management Organization, NADBO, Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies, MMDAs, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana National Fire Service, Ghana Health Service, Environmental Protection Agency, private sector organizations, and other stakeholders. That's the Daily Graphic story. Ghanaian Times reads that structures illegally erected This story is by Julius Yaupitichi. Structures illegally erected within waterways or that pose an immediate danger to public safety and flood mitigation efforts may be removed. The emphasis is on may be removed where necessary. The Ghana Armed Forces has served notice. The exercise, the Armed Forces said, will be carried out in line with applicable laws and on the directives of the appropriate civil authorities. This was made known at the presidency on Friday by the Director General of Joint Operations at the Ghana Armed Forces, Brigadier General Okan Yeboah. Now, there's a quote. Owners and occupiers of structures located within waterways, drainage reservations, and other environmentally sensitive areas are further urged to cooperate with the relevant authorities to facilitate the execution of this critical national assignment. Brigadier General Okan Yeboah, who leads the National Post-Flood Mitigation Task Force, edge. The notice comes on the back of the June 28th flood, and so that's it. I'm going to pick quick thoughts from Patrice and then Crosby on this, because we were speaking about this extensively on Thursday, Patrice, and then Crosby couldn't be here, but you had advocated for this, and so I'll pick your thoughts quickly on this, and then Crosby, and then we get into some of the details.
I'm really overwhelmed by this news that the right thing is being set on the right path. So the military, they have the discipline and they have what it takes to deliver on this one. So trust me, there's very little to say about this, because it makes a lot of sense if we allow those who have the capacity to do this to get in and do it. And they're going to do it to military precision. And like I said, there is a chain of command in the military that when you miss, you'd be in trouble. So for the brigadier who's been put in charge of this thing, I'm believing so strongly that he's got the mindset and is willing and ready to do this. What ought not come in his way would be those political calls that would be this person's house or this house belongs to person A or person B. As we're leaving no stone unturned, we need to be forthright with things that we do. Let us not cherry pick. Let us not deliver this thing half-heartedly. All I wish is that we will do it and then ameliorate the situation such that when the rains come at us again, much heavier than expected, we would not come sit back in the studio and be pointing fingers at the same houses that got flooded. For me, what it takes is that between the assembly and the new task force, what is going to be the collaboration? Because what could arise would be court matters. If the assembly awarded somebody or gave somebody the permit to build, then they have the right to build. So if the person goes to court saying that I have the right and the permit to build because it was the assembly that gave me the right and the permit to build, then the person has a case. So that is what may delay some of these things. Otherwise, if we're going to go like we are dealing with the matter head on, it's a brute thing that we're going to do, then we'll have to demolish it. On the other hand, are we going to punish all those MMDCs who authorize people to build in these waterways and cause this havoc?
That would be a difficult one.
It may.
I say a difficult one because, you know, there are new MMDCs.
Yes.
What we can drill down to is to find out the personnel within the municipalities
Absolutely.
who may have
So the engineers, I believe, are still there. The works engineers are still there, and then the spatial planning people are also in there. So for me, I am happy. Let us just see the way the military is going to tackle this thing, because they shouldn't weigh in more on cleaning the filth. That is a matter that Zoom Lion can easily handle, or any other waste management company can handle. So they shouldn't be dragged into weighing in more on clearing the filth at the beginning part, so that everybody sees the clearance and they are like, oh yeah, that is good news. Forgetting that we need some demolitions, some wild, heavy, deep demolitions to do.
Frederick, do we have pictures and videos of the wetlands and other areas which have been taken over by human settlement?
I think that would do us a great deal of good.
That's been shared widely on social media, but if we were to see for those on Facebook and YouTube as well, just a glimpse of what human settlement has done. That, you see the flooding thing there?
Yes, sir.
It's all human nature.
Absolutely.
Because on Friday when we were monitoring and we were looking at places like the Sakumo Ramsar site for one, the Lafa Basin around Bawe and its environs.
Yes.
There is no way it will rain and it will not flood.
Absolutely.
There is no, because waterway, they fill it with laterite, sometimes they fill it with some other things.
And Soman Pambros, the Tunga area, the Ham area, all those areas. So my point is that we are not getting any wiser. Much as times have changed and technology is improved, we are not getting any wiser. It begs the question of who do we select? Who do we choose? Who do we elect? Who do we nominate? Who do we appoint to occupy the position of an MCE or a DCE? It shouldn't just be anybody, any party boy or any party girl or just any popular person in the neighborhood. No, it is so wrong for us to do that. For some of these things, if you haven't studied engineering, spatial planning, or development studies, you can't be an MCE or a DCE. What are you going to sit there to do? What do you understand by people placement, people arrangement, housing arrangement? So for me, it begs the question of who even employs these people or puts them in such positions to act as MCEs or DCEs.
Cross. Quick thoughts on this as well.
The military's involvement, good. They have the ability, they have the capacity to deal with this. But
that's a huge battle.
Yes. So do they have the capacity to deal with Galamsey, don't they?
I believe so.
We've heard from the top brass of the military giving us timelines that if you leave everything to them to fight Galamsey, they can finish it in very little time. So why have they not been able to do it? Because of certain reasons. Certain, for instance, political reasons. Orders from certain quarters that go above and beyond their heads. What is the guarantee that although this is a brigadier general?
Yes.
This brigadier general who has been tasked to lead this team, what is the guarantee that in spite of the task force's ability, capacity, strength, and everything, dedication to do what they have been asked to do, that the bottlenecks that the military is facing in fighting Galamsey will not happen in their quest to fight floods? What happens when there are political orders from quarters that the military simply cannot do anything about? I'm saying this because we have seen how easy it is for the military to do Galamsey work. I mean, to remove or reduce Galamsey. We've seen how difficult it is for them to reduce Galamsey.
Right.
What happens if the politics we play in the country, if the interest we have in the country, if it is invoked and the military cannot work? Will it mean that the military has failed? My other question or my other concern will be this, that for the military themselves, already people say you have not been able to deal with Galamsey properly.
Yeah.
Because of the reasons that we just spoke about. Use this as a watershed moment, if you like. Everybody is talking about the floods. Everybody is talking about the impact it is having and how we need to do something about it. If it has come in your hands that take care of this baby, do it and do it so well that nobody will then have anything or any concerns to raise about your work. I'm not saying people do, but based on where we're coming from concerning Galamsey, then we should be careful. The military can clear the problem, but the politicians can recreate it.
Yep.
You see, with the Galamsey, the soldiers were burning champagnes, seizing equipment, chasing illegal miners from river bodies and all. But the powerful people who were behind the operations, they were still making the people return, making the military's work cost 90 log 1.
Yeah.
We should also know that the military's work is good. The military will operate by command, but if we're talking about the flooding issues in Ghana, a lot is also based on governance failure. The military and governance, very parallel organizations. So how will the team manage all of this? Flooding is not just a rescue problem. It's a planning, it's a sanitation, engineering, enforcement, and land use problem. Some of these problems go beyond the work of the military, or the military is not involved in all of these. The military will do, Patrice, and what you're suggesting, they should be, they'll do what they're supposed to do, but if the assembly is not doing what they're supposed to do, it means, again, cost 90 log 1.
Yeah, but in that regard, I beg to differ. The military has got the capacity and capability to deliver on all these points that you raised concerning the fact that it needs planning, strategy, and all that. They have all those things there within the military setup.
Yes, they do.
They have it. So even if the assembly fails to do it, the military has got the capacity to do it. They've got people in there to deliver. When it comes to engineering, don't underrate the Ghana military.
Yes.
So spatial planning.
They are
exactly
to do that. But my concern is the interference and the governance bit.
Oh, the president has promised he's not going to interfere with it, with their work.
We are here with Galamsey.
Yes, the president has promised that he's not going to interfere with the work of the military. So the military is going to deliver and deliver hands down. From there, then we take it on to the Galamsey issue.
My concern is that the military can be used for optics rather than reform.
Really? Well, I think this time around, I feel more challenged.
And I'm saying that also because of Galamsey.
Yeah, Galamsey may be one of them. The reason I'm not dwelling a lot on Galamsey is that I want them to redeem themselves. And besides that, Galamsey is not the only issue or situation that we have found the military to be to get into resolve. The military in the past have resolved a lot of things that we have applauded, and we have been able to throw our weights behind them. Yes, Galamsey has been difficult because of some of the things that you're mentioning. Yes.
How are we setting that these things will not leak into the flood thing?
No, the flood thing is quite different. If we should be very blunt, we can say that when they go into Galamsey, it is gold money. And that is huge. It is something that they get on daily basis. So somebody can be bribed with it. Immediately you can.
We're going to Galamsey. We'll see the people who are selling the lands.
Yes.
We'll see the chiefs who are making the lands available.
Absolutely.
The farmers who are making their lands available to the military. We'll see the community people who are not, if you like, vocal or demanding that Galamsey stops.
Yes.
So we see the involvement of all of these people. The same groups of people that are involved in the flood problems that we have.
But there's exchange of money in there. The money coming from Galamsey is far more than
so the flood, there's money is okay.
There's no money. So that one, be rest assured it will be completed. It will be done. Yeah.
So what I want to do right now is to help persons appreciate as well, in terms of all of the conversations, the role of human activity, right? And I've been trying to have Fred show us a few of the imageries as well, particularly for our cherished audience who join us on Facebook as well, to appreciate what has been happening for the last 2 decades. So in an area like Ibri, right? Ibri, this is even 2023 and 2026.
Oh, that is too.
That's just 3 years apart, right? We see the sheer number of buildings that have sprung up, right, as a result of human activity, doing away with vegetation and forest cover, amongst others. There are a bit more in terms of imagery that can be showed.
Yes.
Right.
Well, this is 2023.
That's what I'm saying. No, I mean a lot more of such will be shown.
You should have seen a brief.
It begs the question as to consistently as a people, and fantastic. This is what. So this is Tetegu.
In 2010.
Wager, right? In 2010. That the red line we see is supposed to be a wetland or an area which allows for water to be stored in and to prevent excess water flow into areas. Right. Phil says Jesus. I shall not call the name of the Lord God in vain. This is calling God's name in vain. So that's the area. In 2010, 16 years later, on the right side, this is what Tetegu looks like.
So you understand? Sometimes when I get happy.
So the white line now indicates the wetland readily available to be able to retain excess water flow, which is coming through. And this is not my saying, it's not our doing. This is what Brigadier General showed us on Friday when that news conference was ongoing. So this is Tetegu, Wager, one of such instance. Yeah. And so this is what the place looks like now as a result of human activity. And you see people are building left, right, and center because when you see Diane, you understand? And I feel a part of it all. There's a funny way in which everything in this country connects all of our problems. Let's look at the Lafa, right?
The Lafa area,
The Lafa area. The red zone, wetlands, supposed to... The red line is the wetland proper.
Lafa is just a river. Ordinarily, Lafa is just a river. And it needed not to even have a chief or anything, but somebody held himself up as a chief, and then he instigated the assembly.
The chief over the river.
Chief over the river. So the little land that was there, I remember this particular thing vividly because the guy was working at the National Security. Wow. Yes, so he held himself up as a chief, and then he started selling lands to people along the water. So please go ahead.
So the red markings, right, suggests the river like you're talking about, which is supposed to exist, a wetland, whatever, to absorb excess water flow. Yes. That's 2010. Even at 2010, there had been encroachment.
Yes.
Right? But not on the scale and the manner in which we're seeing it
2026.
In 2026. And you see Tunga there.
Yes.
There's Tunga.
Yes.
There's Mala Market.
Yes.
It's been highlighted on the map. 2026, that is the scale of human development there.
That's the poverty of mindset of the assembly,
right,
and the task force.
And just by the way, you were mentioning some chief I don't know about. So I beg you, let's leave that part out to things that we can substantiate.
I can substantiate that with all due respect. I can, because I was in the thick of affairs when it happened with press conferences and everything. So I know that on authority.
Right.
Yes,
so
I know that on authority.
So that is Malam. And the Lafa I know extends, the storm drains come from Awoshi, Elang areas all the way. In fact, Crosby, you were here last week when someone called and said Awoshi, the Lafa I was speaking to. So that entire storm drain all connects to this Lafa that we're talking about today. And look, people are filling up the wetland. And hoping that they can build on it. And when it floods, we'll come back and we'll be asking questions. Fred, on to the next, please.
The media is to blame, largely, for all these things.
This is the Peshi Basin. Right? The Peshi...
No, Peshi is fine.
Peshi Basin. The white line is what exists in 2026. Right? The white line. And that gets into Laboma.
Yeah.
Laboma is what is the shore over there. That's Laboma. The red line is what used to be.
In 2012.
In 2012. The red line. What used to be. What exists now is the white line. And we can see human activity.
It is sickening.
This is Peshi.
Yeah.
Fred, on to the next for me, please. So that we can perhaps a proper understanding as to what is playing out. So there is a Codjoe stream. I think this doesn't quite help us appreciate the point, and so on to the next, so that it will provide. But
so
even with
charges into the Peshi Lagoon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Codjoe stream the point A on the map tells us that at 2013, it was 211 meters wide. That's the width, right? On to the next, and let's see how wide it is now. 211.
211, yeah.
211 as at 2013. That same point A is now 19 meters.
211 meters.
And that is Chado and its environs for you. That's Chado and its environs, right? Yeah. That's Chado, where rainwater was covering gates and others. That's Chado.
So
filled up.
You want me to sit here and be crying for people?
Filled up. Oh no, filled up and all.
Yeah.
So please follow us if you're listening to us on 3FM 92.7, right?
19.
No, that 19 was 19. Fred, go back for me. 19 was 2013 was 211. 2022 was 19. 2026 is 10.
What?
2020 so 2013 is 211 meters wide. 2022 is 19 meters wide. Means we've lost in excess of 190.
Yeah.
Then 2026 is 10.6, means 200 meters.
Wow.
Have been eroded from the Codjoe stream, which discharges into the Peshi Lagoon.
I'm saying that by 2030, Naka 2.
On to the next for me, please, just briefly. So that's the last one, right?
Yeah.
No, that's not the last one, but because of the nature of the pictures and the file sizes, and so it delays a bit.
It takes time to load.
Yes,
yeah.
But if you're following us, this is the Tessa Dam. The Tessa Dam in
2008.
Yeah, East Legon, right? That's East Legon. There's a dam in East Legon. In 2008, that's what it looked like. The red line.
Yeah.
Very huge. Was going into Shezami areas and all. In 2026, that's what it's been reduced to.
Is this the one that you see when you drive along the motorway?
I cannot speak directly.
Yeah, there's one that has Beaufort and all those things on the other side. Yeah, that is. Yes. So
and the people who live there in these areas, East Legon, they are now beginning to wonder why the place is flooding.
Oh no, I know one big man who lives there, and I was shocked he filled the water. I know his house. It's a white one. He filled the water, blocked the whole thing, and he built on it. He's a very big man in this country. He moved from one political party to the other. Right. I'm giving you clues.
Sincere apologies to persons who are following us on Facebook. Yeah. So apparently they've not been able to follow all the while.
Oh, really?
So they've been seeing me, and they've not been seeing. They've not been seen. Okay, so now it's back. I just make it a point to go from time to time.
Okay, that's fine.
So let's go through it just briefly.
So that's Ebri in 2023. Ebri now. Onto the next. This is Tetegu. Oh my goodness. So yes, so now they can see on Facebook. So now you can go onto Facebook as well, and you can see. This was Tetegu in 2010. The red line indicating the entire area of the wetland. And then Tetegu in 2026. The white line is what suggests which part is the wetland and the buffer zone. That's Tetegu. And you see the human development and everything that has been on it up until now. Where else are we going, Fred?
So that's okay. The Lafa area.
Yes, that's the Lafa. I still think there's a challenge because they are unable to follow. And so, but we've been able to make the points. When they correct it, I'm sure they'll display on Facebook as well so that you can see. So that's the human activity we've been speaking to, which has contributed greatly to the difficulties we experienced from last week. And for me, I've heard you guys speak greatly as to what you expect of the military and what have you. My only problem is the May aspect in terms of the structures which ought to go down. The may, that some structures may go down.
Yeah, may go down, yeah.
Right? That doesn't inspire a lot of confidence for me. When the description is that they may go down. Across different rooms, different conversations that have been had, there's a general consensus that difficult decisions have to be taken.
Absolutely.
Very difficult decisions have to be taken. As to who suffers the brunt, the general Crosby is showing us a building which is an island somewhere. Right? What we've all come to agree to is that if we bite the bullet, we'll be better off for it.
Right.
So I want to see that ruthlessness. And since last week when we began speaking about this, I kept asking the question. Everybody says, oh, we need to take drastic decisions. When that drastic decision involves you,
will you allow it?
Are you sure you're not going to phone your politician friend and ask that the task force be moved away from your home?
Exactly the points that I was raising.
So one instruction is that all politicians should turn their phones off.
Because, that's not the point. Because we will see demolitions. And last week when we were here, I was saying it. We will see demolitions. As to whether it is not a face-saving attempt where we will do some small parts at the Sakumo Ramsar site and then we'll leave the rest.
But when you do face saving, the rain is going to expose you once again. Now let me just simmer your mind on the may, the use of the may. The reason the may came up per engineering practice, what happens is that if between two houses there's supposed to be a waterway, like a gutter, or you create a drainage, and both of you never agreed early on to do that. Now that we are facing this problem, all they need to do is that we take 10 meters from here, 10 meters from here, we create that gully. So all the way from the top down, you don't have to demolish the entire structure. But if you created that waterway, then fine. The water can find its way and then go to where it's supposed to be. That is the reason they are saying that may. The may is not meaning that person A, we've targeted you, we'll pull it down, or person B, we cannot. No. Okay. The may is that if between two houses or three properties, you have to shift 10 meters backwards, or we have to create a gutter or a pipe between the two houses.
The demolitions will still be done with some engineering backing, some thinking behind it. It's not because we say that buildings should go down. So if you think, we are not technical people, so we may see a building in a place that we think should not be there, but for the military and for the technical engineers, they'll think that this building is okay if we can do this around here. So that's the may can be seen in that light. It is also very possible that the may could mean interference and some levels of unableness to carry out the duties because of some powerful forces and political,
But you see, when we talk may, for an area like Titigu, which is on the screen right now, which persons can see. What do you do to an instance like this?
So a may is going to occur here because from 2012 to 2026 is how many years? 16 years.
2010.
Yes. So it's 2010 to 2020, 16 years. Now, when you allow somebody to put up a structure on a piece of land or on a parcel of land, and it goes beyond 12 years, and you want to demolish, now you have to pay compensation.
You have to pay compensation.
The person. So look at the huge number. That is almost like 2/3. So government needs to raise money to pay compensation to almost everybody. Some houses were built like in 5 years ago, 10 years, but those that were built 12 years ago, government needs to pay them compensation. Now, if they're not able to raise the funds to pay these compensations, those properties must stay. That is the thing. Unless, of course, there is a tacit implication on it that there was an instruction. You were not supposed to build here. but you built.
Even if you have lived there for 20 years,
yes.
you should just get
go and take on the assembly, sue the assembly. And
exactly.
All of that.
So go and sue the assembly. So this is what is going to expose the road engineers, the works engineers, and the planners at the assemblies.
Right.
Yes, my brother.
Right. So we will see, or I think already they've begun some work in that regard in terms of clearing some of the drains. Over the weekend, we saw pictures and videos of them attempting to remove some of the vehicles which were swept away
those are
into...
Those are the things I don't want to see.
So there's a comment which adverse possession does not include government land. Any other person's land, if you stay there for a specific period of time, you acquire rights, but government land, I think the law is very specific on that part. Government land, they don't do that. So so if these can be identified to be government land, then perhaps the conversation could be a bit different, right? But there are legal implications as to this, and all of that, and so it remains to be seen what happens. But I know that some work has started in that regard in terms of clearing some of the major drains.
We need to be very drastic about these things, because the money that is going in to support all these people who have been so-called displaced. And I asked the last time, what kind of structures were displaced? Were they squatter houses? Were they kiosks? Were they containers? You get it? Or they were real houses that were built? So all these people, when you factor them in and you say you are giving them 345 million Ghana cedis, what could we have used that money to do? My point is that nipping these things in the bud means going straight to the root cause of the matter, and that is the assemblies. The so-called engineers that we have at these assemblies, how come there was a bypass for them to secure permits? So we saw Ebi Bright on social media over the weekend, and she was asking somebody who gave them the permit to construct something at Tema. And the person said the assembly member is very much aware of it. The assembly member said, no, I do not know.
No, but if assembly member is aware, it doesn't suggest a permit has been granted. Assembly member being aware is not synonymous to a permit being granted.
Thank you. So that is where we go.
It's true what you're saying is true, and I have a concern. So the MC, the DCs, if they're coming to ask the landowner or the property owner who gave you the permit, what do they seek to get? Can't they go into the database and go and find out who was there?
No, you will not find permits. Here's how it works, right? So the assemblies don't sell the land to you.
Yes.
You buy a land from a chief, possibly.
Yes.
Says, I own the land, or a family,
yes.
and says, this 70 by 100, 2 plots.
You pay the money, you exchange
everything.
Whatever you have to do.
You've secured your plot.
Yes.
When you begin building, it is you
can't even begin building. Before you put anything there, you have to take your plan to the assembly.
You are speaking to ideal situations.
Okay. You are talking about how people.
Exactly.
Sorry.
You're speaking to ideal situations.
Right, okay.
When that happens, the next bottleneck you face is possibly some land guards coming around and asking questions as to whether or not you owe the land, or some young persons coming to say you have to pay digging fee before you can begin work. Right? Otherwise, the assembly will sometimes have absolutely no knowledge of the fact that a building is being put up somewhere until it gets to a certain stage, and then they come around, pay their very belated monitoring, find out that the building is almost halfway through, and then they begin to mark it with red paint, produce permits, stop work, this, that. And when that happens, the persons go and post, after building and starting everything, they go and seek permit and ratify what it is they're doing. That is if the person decides to even go and seek the permit. If they don't, the building continues. So in that instance, when, like we're speaking to the Tema case, where the MC says, who gave you the permit? The person doesn't need a permit to start building. Once they secure the land, they can begin to start. And I'm not saying that is what is right.
Yes. What she was trying to establish is that, did you go according to due process? Did you follow due process? Did you stick to what is duly supposed to be your responsibility? So if you're able to show that I was given permit, there's going to be a signature on that permit.
Yes, and that is where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
That for the people who go through some levels of due process to get a permit to build at where they're not supposed to build, unless we're coming to say that does not happen.
Yeah.
But for the people who get permit to do what they're not supposed to do, if you come and ask me, I have my building in a waterway, you come and ask me, where's the permit of the building? And if I have the permit, my point is, why can't you go into the Assembly's database, whichever system you have,
I get you so
to go and see who issued that permit for me?
So what
now, if you find out that if I don't have the permit, then why are you asking me who gave it? I don't have the permit, so do what you have to do. It's quite simple.
All right, okay.
Don't come and ask me
that
to.
There's no permit, so
You're asking me to produce.
So you're suggesting that entire questioning is
it's
needless.
Not there. Go and look into the system. If there's a permit there, which should not have been given to me, who gave that permit? Go and look for the person, deal with the person.
An anomaly.
Right.
But if you come and ask me when you know I don't have a permit, who gave me the permit? What do you expect me to give to you? Do what you have to do.
There could be a systemic failure where it is just possible that I may have the permit, but the assembly would have lost the permit.
Oh.
So show it to me so I can verify.
What if me to have lost my permit?
Both of us are. So that means then there's no permit. Because if you have lost yours and the assembly has lost theirs, then you'd have no means.
Right.
So with all due respect, one minute. No, in fact, 30 seconds. You see, people will think that I'm a very hardcore, hardened person at the heart. No, I am not. But I don't commiserate with people who do illegal things and they find themselves at the wrong. So I don't commiserate, like I said this thing, with those who got their properties flooded. I don't. Because you built in the wrong place. Now you expect me to come and be crying for you.
Here's where I'll disagree with you, right? Institutions exist to protect.
Yeah.
Wisdoms exist to guide.
When you were speaking, I allowed this. I know, Pam. I'm saying that institutions exist to protect, right? Protect the ordinary Ghanaian, the vulnerable, amongst many other things. When persons are developing wetlands, there are institutions that supervise and guide and watch over those lands.
Right.
When you watch on for persons to do the wrong thing, I'm sorry, but we cannot come back and we'll come and say they've built in waterways, and so who was stopping them? Who has, over the last 16 years, if you take us back to the picture of Tetegu or the Codjoe stream or Ebri, why are you supervising persons building in areas which are supposed to serve as water retention sites?
So
and afterwards,
you're saying the same things. I mean, you're arriving at the same conclusion. What Patrice is also saying is that
because you've gone to build,
you have your
gumption.
You have been able to get money to get land.
You don't know everything always.
It's true. That's where the organizations and the institutions come in. But if they don't come in, one of the buildings I was pointing, when you were building there, what was going through you understand? Where is that building?
No, they fill the land. Like they will tell you, why are they instructing you to fill the land?
So I can understand Patrice, because I've lived at Afuama for a very long time, like for some 7-8 years.
Okay.
When you are going to Afuama, there's a stream that connects to the Wager. It's a storm drain. There's a huge bridge over it. When it rains, that entire area gets flooded, right? Because the water volumes are quite high. As I'm speaking to you, there have been persons who have been filling the land on the wet area and are seeking to build. Those people,
let me interrupt
you don't need to show mercy to them.
Let me interrupt you. So you have seen that people are filling the place and beginning to build. The assemblies, they have not seen it.
Fair point.
Okay.
Fair point. But let's switch lanes, because there's a matter brewing in courts involving the former Buffer Stock CEO, Annan. He was arrested at the airport again this weekend.
They say Rambo style.
And his lawyers are not particularly enthused. That story is on page 3 of the Ghanaian, the Daily Guide, not Ghanaian Times, the Daily Guide. This is by Jibril Abdul Razak. It reads that lawyers for former Chief Executive Officer of the National Food and Buffer Stock Company Limited, NAFCO, Hanan Abdul Wahab Aludiba, have threatened to initiate contempt of court proceedings against the Attorney General, his deputy, and the Director of the Bureau of National Intelligence, BNI, following his arrest at the Accra International Airport. The lawyers say that the latest development confirms their suspicion that the AG and his deputy are the masterminds of frequent violations of court orders by law enforcement agencies and the persistent harassment of their clients and other citizens under the current administration. Mr. Aludiba, who is standing trial with his wife, Faiza Seidu Wuni, for allegedly stealing and causing financial loss to the state amounting to some 62.6 million cedis, was arrested at the airport in the late hours of July 4. When was July 4? I think July 4 was Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday, when he attempted to travel to the United Kingdom for medical reasons. There are allegations of attempts to access frozen accounts and some others. Well, his lawyers say that they issued a statement denying claims that he attempted to empty his bank account. They described the statement as laden with falsehood and a lame attempt to cover up the Attorney General's deplorable authorization for an order of a court of competent jurisdiction to be violated with impunity. Now, Mr. Aludiba had filed an application seeking leave of the court to travel to the UK. The court, presided over by Justice Francis Achibonga, a justice of the Court of Appeal sitting as an additional High Court judge, heard arguments from counsel in the matter, including Dr. Srimsai. The court subsequently granted him leave to travel to London for an appointment with his optician scheduled for July 6th. He was to depart July 4 and return July 12, and was further ordered to deposit his passport with the registry of the court by July 14, 2026.
I want to know what is intriguing Patrice, that is because he's going for medical.
The judge is what allowing him
to access medical treatment outside of the jurisdiction.
We have something that is even pending that has to do with the Ken Oforiatta issue,
but
where people are claiming.
Before that was said in a Tamaklo was also medical grounds.
So, and all these things, when they go out there, they don't show up.
Oh, I'm not sure that is a justifiable enough pool to draw a conclusion like that.
So, I mean, this is what has been going on within and among circles of people who believe that in governance, considering the way we do our things here, some of these things ought not to be taken lightly. Because in recent past, we've had something with Ken Oforiatta, who said he was also going for medical treatment. He stepped out of the country, and what are we hearing currently? So you don't tell me that you can't allow optician? Is that what he was going to do?
Yeah, he's going to see his optician.
So who would sit and think that there's not a possibility of you saying you're going to see optician, which is very, common here in this country, and that you're going to see that person, and there's no possibility of you getting out of the country and not coming back.
A court of competence, in fact, it's a court of appeal.
Before the court will arrive at that decision, the court has weighed all the options,
they've weighed all these arguments,
complaints you come in with, and all of that. Yes, granted that there's the possibility.
There's a possibility.
Yes, because it has happened before. But it also does not mean we should not allow him seek the medical treatment that he so needs.
It's not about the personality. For me, it's not about the personality, because I don't know him, and I'm not speaking to the personality. I'm speaking to one, the office that person occupies, and two, the matter that has occurred that we're talking about. So the point is, if somebody occupies a certain office and the person has been fingered as having done something untoward.
Where's Codjoe?
Yes, Codjoe is untoward. For me, if there is a precedent that someone on the same pretext went out of the country and never came back and became a citizen of another country, why would we allow somebody in a similar state to move out of the country? It's not about him. I don't know him. I'm speaking to the office, the authority, and the issue that is the court matter that is at stake. So for me, that is what I'm speaking to. That if we should keep on allowing these things to be going on and on, wherein lies the credibility? Wherein lies the justice for the other people whom you have held down. Some people were not allowed to move. Others were. Why?
Well, some have. Well, I have to check the court records perhaps and speak to. But I know people are allowed to go, they seek medical treatment, and they return.
Yes. So we are talking about a court of competent jurisdiction. Lest we forget that not too long ago, Anas Arimiao Anas came up with a research that found that some judges were culpable in certain things. I am not saying every judge, but that is what Anas proved to us. That's why I said everybody is first of all a human being before anything else. So it is just so possible that a judge can be influenced to take a certain decision.
No, I'm not sure that's a fair.
No. I am saying that per the records.
I as much as I appreciate where you're coming from.
So I am speaking that let us not think that because it is coming from a court of competent jurisdiction that judge cannot err. Judges err. That is why we have the court of appeal.
That's fair.
That we have a review.
So your argument is that you disagree with the judge in allowing him to sue.
No, I don't disagree with the judge. I don't have in front of me what the judge perused before allowing this person out. Right. I am only saying and speaking from the point of view of the opposing side that is claiming, let's just allow him to go. What if we allow him to go and he doesn't come back? What are you going to prosecute?
No, then there will be a bench warrant for his arrest. He will be slapped on.
Did it happen to? What happened to the red alert? It was just a charade. So it is just possible that people have found a smart way of coming around these things, that when you invest in Donald Trump's economy, 2 million to 5 million, he will not allow you to be extradited to your country. So you stay there, invest your money there, and I would allow you. Same thing that happened to Furiata. So I am saying, I don't know this man, but I'm speaking to the matter such that we don't come and waste our time here. Sit on air and talk about something that ought to be easily dealt with or prevented. So we don't come and say, we saw it. Ofuriata did it, you didn't stop it. Sedinam did it, Tamaklo did it, you didn't stop her. Now, Annan has also done it. So, political asylum, they are just going.
Cross, just before you come, there's a message that's come through from private legal practitioner as well in relation to this matter. It says that the airport arrest is very strange, especially the reason that's been provided for the arrest. They add that it is trite that anyone can be arrested when standing trial, but how does one access an account that is frozen?
Yeah.
And if that's possible, then it means a person is breaching the term of bail if it is a part of the bail conditions, and that way you would have to go back to court for withdrawal of same. But again, the law gives the police a wide discretion to arrest. In fact, they can just suspect and assume that you will commit crime tomorrow and arrest you. He adds, good morning to John Baptist Aija, who's listening and sends this one in.
We thank him.
And so the conversation surrounds his arrest, allegations that he was seeking to access frozen bank accounts upon which he was making his way out of the country.
Right.
And him seeking to access funds from a frozen bank account became the basis upon which he was picked up. And Mr. Hanan's lawyers are fighting it. I should think the legal battle will begin either today or in the course of this week as well. Cross, quick one, and then we can make way for sports.
Just a few things I want to pay attention to. The first is that if the executive, through the security agencies, are they able to stop a person from enjoying a court order, if indeed that is what happened, a court order without first going back to the same court to vary or stay that order? If the executive cannot do that, then why did it happen? So if the executive then can do that, what is the concern that Mr. Hanan's lawyers are saying? There's a second bit of the conversation, which is the frozen account problem. So now, unless we get the court documents, was the account frozen? Dami says what the AG is saying may not be entirely true. He's saying that the the freezing order was tied to an earlier criminal process. And according to him, when the AG withdrew the earlier charges on,
they make the argument that that died
May
with
5.
it.
So it means it does not exist.
Yeah.
So if Mr. Wahab is attempting to withdraw money, he's withdrawing money from an unfrozen account, his proper account. So then why would you go and then pick him up? Again, these are legal gymnastics that the lawyers will deal with in the court. Mr. Dami is also talking about evidence that he's asking proof his client attempted to withdraw or empty money from the account after the court order was granted. So it still falls into that area. Now there are these concerns that we have about Godfrey Dami saying that he was denied access to his client. And this is not the first time something like this is happening.
He's made that point a number of times.
For successive governments, a lot of the times when people are invited or arrested or taken to various security agencies, the lawyers always come and say that we don't know where our people are. Even when we know where they are, we have not been granted access to them.
Okay.
And it is not something that is linked to just one government. All government have been accused of doing the same thing. Is it that we find it, we get pleasure in doing it?
There's some delight in
exactly. Why do we do it if we know it is wrong? There's also the other bit about denying him bail.
Yeah.
You see, that also comes up here. And Godfrey Dami said that after 48 hours, he was also not allowed to see his client and all of that. So why do we keep going through this cycle as a nation when we are building our judicial systems and all of that?
Yeah.
We keep letting things like this interfere in the work of the judiciary, and it does not really help. You see, we should find a better way to
read the story carefully.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes when we are not careful, these people deceive us. You know, there was a time that the deputy president of Imani, he wrote an article that I pointed out that it wasn't appropriate. So this says that the statement also rejected allegations that Abdul Wahab attempted to withdraw money from
a frozen,
a supposedly frozen.
I think Crosby.
So Abdul Wahab attempted to withdraw money from a supposedly frozen account. So attempted means he attempted to. Supposedly, that means you are supposing that the account has been frozen.
The account has been frozen.
You get to the next line, it says, we challenge him to produce evidence of a withdrawal of any sum by the account. This one said he attempted.
It means you did not succeed.
Yes. So now you're telling us to prove that the person withdrew the money.
So the allegation is being made by the AG's office, and so they'll have to prove that.
Yes,
because the burden will lie on them because they are the prosecution as well.
An attempted withdrawal. Don't say to prove a withdrawal, because he didn't withdraw.
That's fair. That's fair. We have to make way for sports now. Murtala Yakubu is here. We're talking World Cup amongst many other things.
Oh, we're not talking Black Stars.
Go Black Stars.
Black Stars will be knocked out of the tournament.
Yeah, sad too.
No. If Black Stars are sad.
It is finished.
It's a choice of music by DJ Phil. He says it is finished. Everything is finished. Whether you go, it's finished for the Black Stars.
Brazil or Germany.
All of them put together.
It is finished.
Okay, it's okay.
You do that for us straight up, and it's been quite the weekend in terms of football, right? And we can start off from the quarters of the Black Stars. and disappointment to a great extent. We're out of the 2026 World Cup. But big question is whether or not that performance was worth mentioning or something to applaud, and from all that we saw.
Are you talking about the Colombia game?
Yes, Black Stars Colombia.
You know the 1-0 scoreline
was charitable.
It wasn't even a reflection of the game.
It was charitable to us.
It wasn't even close. I mean, we played 94, 95 minutes of football without getting a shot.
It was 90 plus 6, right?
Without getting a shot on target. I mean, on a day it was poor finishing from Luis Diaz and great goalkeeping from Artizigi that kept the scoreline respectable. I mean, let's be frank with ourselves. The moment Marvin Senaya got that injury and was done for, it was a whole disruption of the backline. Ali said was not even ready to come on. So the players who were warming up on the touchline, he wasn't even part. And Alidu has had a lengthy injury. He's not played much at club level. He still has to find a sharpness with the team. So when he came on, he was all over the place. It was the side that the goal came from.
But to be fair, the entire backline had been moved.
That is why I'm saying that once Senaya got injured, it was a total disruption of our backline. So I wasn't surprised Carlos Queiroz after the game said that injury to Senaya cost Ghana, because you do your organization, you do your shape, and maybe you plan that in 60th, 70th minute, if things are not working, then you make changes. That early substitution, Colombia also had an early substitution, but for them, it helped them. Because Luis Suarez was the one who started. I was even surprised.
He actually provided the assist for the goal.
And I was even surprised to see Cordoba starting ahead of Suarez. Because when it comes to a player's hold-up play, I mean, Suarez is better than Cordoba.
Maybe he was going for the physicality.
Yes, because of the physical nature of Jerome Opoku and of course Lucas, and that is why Cordoba came in. But Suarez completely changed the game for them.
They couldn't stay with him.
I think even on the day our setup was a clear recipe for disaster. It was like we are setting up just to see if something will happen.
But there are people who say that the way we played the game, it was as if we just wanted to intercept. That's all.
Just intercept the ball. I don't even know what to do with the ball.
Because when we get the balls, I
don't know if you watched the Argentina-Cape Verde game.
I did.
Cape Verde, after you listen to the Cape Verdean fans, and they will tell you that they had nothing to lose. So they just have to throw the game to Argentina. Because already you are going into a game with Argentina where you have 2% chance of winning. And this is the knockout stage. It's not as if you have a second chance. So throw everything at them. When they did, you saw how Argentina struggled.
Yeah.
Because Argentina didn't expect Cape Verde to play with that confidence. That is how Ghana needed to line up.
But the way we lined up from the coach was not good. The way he managed the game also, in my way, was not good. In a tournament like this, there's no reward for losing 1-0 against 5-0.
No, there's no reward.
You understand?
I mean, you are just going out. See how Colombia celebrated. It was just 1-0. But see how they celebrated, because they progressed to the next stage of the competition. I think we didn't cover ourselves in glory in that final game. We should have been a little bit braver. And that there's a huge albatross around our neck that we'll need to take off.
Jordan are you?
There's a way to lose.
We need to communicate it properly. We need to find a way of. We need to find a way of.
That's Jordan
managing
Ayew.
The transition.
That albatross. That albatross you speak of is Jordan Ayew. We don't look good when he's on the pitch.
We don't look.
I mean, you have to be very blunt.
Yeah.
We don't look good when he's on the pitch.
Because Jordan,
doesn't kickstart the press.
Jordan is not your out and out number 9.
True.
Jordan will score against Central African Republic. Jordan will score against Mali. Jordan will score against Niger. Jordan will score against Chad. All these things because you are playing in the qualifiers. But when you meet a quality opposition where you have the likes of Davison Sanchez, Jordan will be non-existent. Because he's not your out and out number 9. Jordan's best position is playing behind the striker or from the wings where he's doing a lot of defending. Because he usually plays with his back to goal. So we need to ask ourselves serious questions. Egbeta, yes, we are getting some $30 million.
No.
Really? Mr. Megashi, the way you did the
we're getting $30 million.
$30 million for reaching the round.
It's not from government of Ghana. It's from FIFA.
No, 30 million from FIFA.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, then I'm happy we lost.
Oh, why?
We are getting 13 million for losing.
But it could have been more if you progressed.
Received more. Morocco, as it stands, would get about $16 million.
So scared.
But the 30 million, the money has to come to the government, and they will decide the quota they want to give to the GF. The last World Cup we went, the
$10 million.
We had 10 million, and government gave GFA $2 million.
Oh, then Tetegu, this thing will work.
Right. So, I mean, in terms of a look ahead for the Black Stars, there are huge questions as to Carlos's statement. Some persons interpreted it as him resigning.
Yeah.
Others have not. Even from what I understand yesterday, leadership of the GFA are not sure what that statement even means as to whether or not he's left his role. What are we learning?
Well, he was clearly, we were told during his unveiling that he was brought in just for the World Cup, period. He signed a 4-month contract. So the contract would have ended somewhere in August. But the thing is, Ghana is not going to play any game up until September, where we will assemble again and start the AFCON qualifiers. So he will not, if he's still there, he will still be paid.
Has something like this happened before? Otuado, he was brought in for a period.
Yeah, Otuado came in for the World Cup, then he resigned after the World Cup.
Yes, but
it's a similar.
But this one, he's not resigning though. I mean, he was just brought in for the World Cup. The minister kept telling us that, let's finish the World Cup, and if you want to sit with the coach to renegotiate again, because it will be a whole different negotiation if they want to employ him again. The supposedly $100,000 that he's being paid, which authorities have denied several times, which some of us know, we will have to renegotiate again, because Carlos Queiroz' CV is that huge, his resume is that huge. And even the 100,000, I feel he's doing us a favor. Because if you want a quality coach on the continent right now, you are not going to pay less than $100,000. Heavy Renard came in for 2 games for Tunisia. He was paid $200,000 for that defeat to Japan and Netherlands that he lost, the 2 games. He was paid 100. And these nations can afford to price coaches away. You remember Milovan Raiva after the 2010 World Cup? We're hoping you stay with us because we had gotten to the
quarters and we're seeking to build upon.
We were seeking to build upon that and go to the AFCON and see if we can break our trophy. Then a team from so India or something came to pick him because they can pay more. And these coaches, once they get that kind of leverage they want to go for more. Carlos Queiroz, don't be surprised another team can for him.
Because Milovan Raivac as coach in that Brazil with that Brazil team would have done wonders, because we had a very good team in 2014.
Yeah,
a very, very good team in 2014. Unfortunately, we couldn't have.
I think the best squad we've assembled for a World Cup was 2014.
Yeah, and surprisingly, we exited in the group stage because of bonuses and all that.
We would have done way better if not for the off-field issues, because our players then had matured. Asamoah Gyan had matured to the point where, yes, he was a leader now. Majid Waris had come in. Codjoe Asamoah was playing the best football of his life. Michael Essien was there. Kevin Prince-Boateng had retired from the national team
and had returned.
Miraculously came back because the World Cup was around. He had retained Jonathan Messi. All these players.
We had a very good crop of players.
Very good crop of players, but for the off-field issues. But the statement Carlos Queiroz read, I think people are decoding it differently. Everyone and their interpretation. Those who don't really, the anti-GFA, those who have always are on the neck of the GFA are saying that what he said towards the tail end, where he said the success of the Black Stars doesn't start on, it's not only on the field, it starts off the field. Some people are interpreting it as he's saying that the success of the Black Star is off the field because some people were influencing.
No, I don't think it speaks to an influence, but it speaks to a lot of trouble around the team.
For me,
that's what it speaks to.
Times. I've even played the statement in ChatGPT, asking AI to explain to decode and explain. AI should make sense of it, and AI is telling me that Carlos Queiroz is saying that we should build a strong team off the field before we go on to that. It's not just players on the field. Our facilities, our preparation towards tournaments, a lot of things need to change.
administrative stuff.
Yes, even our fundamentals in terms of
that makes a lot
growing
of sense.
our own talents here.
Yeah,
Because Egbeta, I'll continue to say it. It's not bad having players of Ghanaian descent outside to come and play for you. But you can't always go and look for Mr. Mensah, who was in Netherlands and gave birth to Kofi Mensah, who grew up in there. You can't always have that. Most of these players will even turn you down, especially if they are good enough. And the country of or the country that you were born in show interest in them, they will turn you down.
I think my colleague Joshua Tigo wrote an article comparing the Ghanaian players we've seen, whether or not we always get the less talented ones.
It's
if you want to compare.
Let's be frank with ourselves. Let's not play the ostrich. It's almost as if we always get players who
are rejected.
Other countries don't show interest in them. Or the countries they were born in do not show interest in them, and they come to us. Derek Cohn, for instance, he's a good player too, but there was no way the German national team were going to call Derek Cohn. There's a reason why he's played one match for the German under-19 since 2019. He's never played for any of the national teams. Kevin Prince Boateng's situation, he was never going to get into that German national team because that time there was Mesut Ozil, there was Michael Ballack. They had. His brother was fortunate because Germany didn't have a lot of defenders, you remember? Jerome. But Jerome is the less talented player as compared to Kevin, even though Jerome is more disciplined than Kevin. But Jerome had a way of getting into the team because they didn't have enough defenders, and Kelvin needed to turn to us. Quincy Ousabeye, he had played for the Dutch under-17, under-20. But at a point, he fell off. The national team proper were never going to call him. He turned to us. So we are always getting the less talented. That is why I feel we need to go back to the basics of growing the many talents we have here as compared to the one we have in the diaspora. Because there's a pool of talents here.
There are two things we can do actually. My point is that if you don't have the kind of materials to develop and grow your talents here, and the foreign countries have the materials and everything to grow the talent, target the people there, spend on them, let them enjoy everything from management to diets to training sessions to pitches and everything, playing attitude and mindset and everything, and then bring them to your country.
Funny enough, recently the GFA, let me chip this in before we go on. The GFA has launched an initiative where they are targeting kids who were born in the diaspora. But there's a caveat to that.
Right.
Kobe Mainoo, who was born in England, whose great-grandfather served as Sante Koto, still has ties with Ghana, comes to Ghana almost every now and then, starts playing for Manchester United. He knows there's a 90% opportunity.
Once you play for United, you play with the Three Lions.
You can convince him in as much as you want.
Yes.
But especially if they do not go through your youth system, have opportunity of playing England under 19, under 20,
to the mic,
England under 19, under 22, plays regularly for Manchester United.
No, mine is to groom them from the beginning. You know, so I've identified Mawuena's son that is playing. So we come into touch with Mawuena and say, Mawuena, GFA wants to.
So that is the initiative the GFA have launched.
It is better,
recently in England, where they will be identified. They picked about 40 kids where they want to monitor them and help in their growth, because players are not mushrooms to be popping up and you say that Mr. Bro baby,
let's talk
there's a lot we need to do.
The rest of the World Cup games. Brazil failed to reach the quarterfinals for the first time since 1990. I wasn't. I mean, when the game started,
the coach wasn't surprised. He was chewing gum. He wasn't surprised.
When the game started, it could have gone either way, right? Because they got a very early penalty, which they could have taken advantage of. They missed. I saw Bruno Guimaraes behind the spot kick. I was very surprised. And then it went. They didn't do enough.
Ancelotti's son, who is the assistant coach of Brazil, says that Bruno Guimaraes is the first penalty taker, which is a big surprise because we've known Vinicius to be one who always wants to pick up the ball and hit it. So I was surprised to see Bruno Guimaraes there. But this is football. Before the tournament, I said Norway are the dark horses because they have some very good players. And if you have Erling Haaland, you have a 50% chance of always scoring. This is a player who barely gets 20 touches in a game. He doesn't.
I think that was his second or was it first shot on target.
I'm not old, but I think the only player I've seen do this was Filippo Inzaghi. who barely gets touches in the game, but ends up
Inzaghi.
scoring. But no one does it better than Erling Haaland. But not for the last 10 years, 15 years that I've seen. He doesn't need a lot of touches.
Bang.
That is why sometimes he gets frustrated when they are expected to cross to him and they want to do over-elaborate things. Because he needs just few opportunities. Alan had 3 shots on target yesterday. He scored 2. And the 2 goals were crucial. Very crucial. And Norway have some very, they may not be your world beaters. I mean, they will not be the popular.
They have the Nusa.
But they have
Oscar
players
Bob,
who play for...
Oscar Bob.
Oscar Bob plays for Manchester City.
Yeah.
They have players who play in mid-table teams in Europe. So, and they play like a unit. And I think that Norwegian chant, the chant that they do, it really they spread them on. No?
England beat Mexico. I was disappointed.
Please. You see, he's just said that the Norwegian team, some of them play in what league? Some middle. Thank you. So similarly, some of the Black Stars players, they don't necessarily have to play at the top echelon of the game. All they need to be is to have a cohesive mindset on how a team must play.
The Black Stars, if we talk about, we will not finish. As for the Black Stars here,
we will not finish.
We can have a 24-hour conversation about the Black Stars because it starts from player selection. It's a whole lot.
Yeah.
So let's leave them for now.
Thank you so much,
and then England, Mexico. I watched that game.
I do my hat off for England because they were in the enemy territory. If you watch the game,
yeah, I did.
You saw the stadium vibe.
It was crazy.
It was as if we've gone to war. It was as if Ghana, we've packed our things. 100 people.
But I was disappointed in Mexico.
Especially after the red card.
Yes, the last, after England went up 3-1, they got a penalty and brought it to 3-2.
Yeah.
I think the approach to the game was horrible.
And after 3-2, it was around 67.
Yeah, it was so horrible.
And England had gotten a red card.
It was so horrible. Look, all they were doing was they passed the ball to the wings, they switch it, then they try a cross.
And it wasn't working at a point.
For 30 minutes.
One of the most difficult things is playing against a team that knows they are a man down. Everybody doubles up their effort. So it's very difficult when you're playing.
You see,
against a team that
the few times they try to go through the middle or they cross to the edge of the box,
it worked for them.
It worked. But for the entire 30 minutes, I was so disappointed.
I
was very, very disappointed in them.
Happy with the way England conducted themselves because nothing in the game, nothing really favored them. The atmosphere didn't favor because the stadium was cladded in green.
It was a Mexico City, so
the game was delayed by 1 hour because of
thunderstorms and all
like
of that.
So it was as if England will capitulate at this point, but the mentality to go to enemy territory.
And it was fantastic. Those 2 quick goals, fantastic.
And there's something about this World Cup that is unique. If you have a team that you can score, if you have the opportunity to score more, score. Yeah. Because of the other time, the other time rule that has come in where every single minute will be played. So it's likely you can even play 10 minutes of other time. And
they had 11 minutes.
Yes, teams usually double up their effort. In that, when they see the other time, the board go up.
Yes.
And it's 10 minutes. Okay, within 10 minutes we can get
do something. Yeah.
So if
it was 11 minutes added on time.
If that Brazil game, if there was about 10-15 minutes added
on, I'm sure Brazil would have done something.
Would have equalized.
So now 2 host nations are down.
That penalty from Neymar, you could see the momentum has swayed to them.
Yeah.
But it was too late.
It was very late. It was very late in the day.
They were taunting each other.
It happens. Neymar was trying to get into the head of Neymar. And Neymar also was telling him that, Charlie, I am Neymar. You don't do this to me.
I've been here before and I've been here longest.
And went straight to the goal. Mbappe did the same thing against Paraguay.
Yeah.
The only person who scores and will not comfort a goalkeeper is Messi. He will score in just 10 and go.
Because that's why he's the best.
He doesn't think that he should even exchange words with you.
That's why he's
Messi,
the best.
if you try to get into his head, he won't even look at you. He will be looking at the ball. He will score in just 10. He won't come and comfort you. He wants to show you that I am Messi. So
that's why he's the best. Let's talk games. The rest of the games because we know Morocco made it. No surprises. Morocco winning by 3-0. Rest of the games pretty quickly.
Charlie, Morocco, France. But there's a big game today. Played one today.
Is that live on TV3?
Yeah, live on TV3.
Spain, Portugal. It's a cracker at 7 p.m.
Portugal will sleep. Portugal will go to bed.
There's this,
Portugal will go to bed.
With Portugal
will go to bed.
They are playing against
big teams. They actually turn up.
Sometimes they turn up.
It's not
but
sometimes.
I am
they actually turn up.
Oh, really?
Recently, they beat Spain in the. Was it the Nations League?
The Nations League final.
That they beat Spain. But Cristiano Ronaldo has admitted that they are not playing well. And they came with huge hopes. We all thought the squad they assembled would be devastating to play against. But they've been very, very underwhelming in this tournament. And Ronaldo says that against Spain, they need to improve. They themselves know they need to improve. Because if they don't improve, Spain might swallow them.
You know, I didn't sleep yesterday.
Oh, really?
Because of
the England game.
So
they have to.
You do so well.
I have to escape quickly, catch some sleep, and then wake up for the.
Two of the host nations are now.
Yeah, two host nations are down.
Canada, Mexico. Out.
USA plays today at. They play tomorrow at 12
against
midnight against Belgium. My money is on. My money is on USA.
Against Belgium, they should fancy their chances.
Balogun's
a controversy.
Balogun's red card was suspended.
Now there's a conspiracy theory. People are saying that it is Donald Trump that called.
No, actually, there are reports that he called.
So even Jurgen Klopp made a comment about that. That if really indeed Donald called the FIFA president to tell him to change or resign that red card decision, then Trump has taken over our football in this tournament.
And
he
is
has
he
already taken over our football.
No, he rescinded.
No, so I think I saw Jacob.
Is
it Jacob Einstein or one of the British reporters? Stated emphatically that Trump had called Infantino about the red card, and FIFA has declined to comment about it.
FIFA has declined.
And they rescinded that red card.
No, they didn't rescind it. They suspended the implementation of the.
Okay, so they suspended the red card. And they are making reference to the fact that prior to this tournament, Cristiano Ronaldo also had a red card in one of their UEFA their qualifiers. Ronaldo was expected to miss about 2 games, the first 2 games of this tournament. But it was suspended.
Oh.
So after this tournament, maybe in future games, Ronaldo can sit out. So they've also suspended the red card, which has never happened in the FIFA World Cup. And that is why the only reason why this is not blowing up is because it is Balogun. If it was Messi or Ronaldo.
If it was Messi, they would have been saying rigged. But they suspended for Ronaldo. Nobody's saying rigged.
But there's been a suspension of the red card. So Balogun will be playing against Belgium. The Belgian FA has written back.
Yeah, they disagree strongly with it.
This don't come and spoil our football.
They disagree.
But the Balogun guy is he lethal?
He's on 4 goals.
He's their top striker.
Oh wow,
he's on 4 goals.
I
think he's on 5. Is he on 5 or 4?
He's on 4 goals.
4. Yeah,
he's their top striker. They are top.
Okay.
Yeah, for the US.
But it doesn't bode well for.
Yeah. I mean,
especially when they.
I mean, the bias has been so. The bias has been too glaring from fans, a lot of the Iranian fans and all of that.
The fear
access to the stadium and what have you.
Sometimes go to Donald Trump. You can say that the tournament coming will still get out of my.
So that's it. That game is at 7 p.m. Build-up starts at what, 6? Build-up starts at 6.
And the game is at 7 p.m. And our stars too, we are waiting to see
if they touch down.
They'll meet the president and what kind of words.
Charlie, I am your name.